Hopefully this is still, I have no clue if this is going to work or not. Okay, so log base 2 of 7. We know it's not a whole number. We know it's going to be between 2 and 3. Your calculator can do 2 types of logs, though. We talked about this the first day. What types of logs can you do on the calculator? Log base 10, because there is a log button. They can also do natural logs. We haven't really talked about those yet. We're just going to kind of ignore that stuff for now. There's a formula called the change of base formula, which lets us do logarithms with any base in terms of log base 10. Here's how this works. If we have the problem log base b of m, like log base 2 of 7, we could do this in terms of log base 10. This is the same as log base 10 of m divided by log base 10 of b. I'll show you exactly how this works with specific numbers in a moment. What's the shortcut way, though, to write log base 10? Log. Just log. And we have a log button on the calculator, which will make that kind of nice. This is log m divided by log b. I'm not expecting this to make any sense at the moment. I promise it will in like 10 seconds. Log base 2 of 7. We don't have a log base 2 button on the calculator, but I can use this new formula that says this is going to equal log base 10 of 7 divided by log base 10 of 2. You are going to go to your calculator right now. We do have to be a little bit careful with how we use parentheses on this, but we're going to type in log 7 and close the parentheses and then divide it by log 2. You do.
I got 2.807.
We're going to round to the nearest thousandth. So let's say 2.807. Question?
No, I'm just fine.
Yep. So I'm going to say about 2.807. Well, let's check it. The point was we were trying to figure out 2 to what power gives us 7. We got about 2.807. Type in 2 raised to the 2.807.
I got 7. I got 6.998.
Aha. Why is it not exactly 7?
Because it's not exactly 3. Because we didn't give all the decimals.
Not because it's not exactly 3, because we didn't give all the decimals. We just gave 3. If we use more decimals, we get closer and closer to the 7 that we want. I think I just said we're going to round to the nearest thousandth. Do you see how I did that? I don't actually even need to see this work written out. If you just go straight to the answer, I'm okay with that. Well, I mean, there are things we're going to need to show work for. Mike.
So, you saw, okay, so log base 2 of 7, you do log base 10 of 7.
Log base 10 of 7 divided by log base 10 of 2. This has nothing to do with our properties. This is a new formula that I just gave you. We're dividing 2 logarithms. Are you having trouble getting that number?
No, I got it. It's just like, I don't think.
So let's do some more. Next one. I know this is going to be pretty close to what number? Log base 3 of 76? What's it going to be pretty close to, I think?
81.
Okay, log base 3 of 81, which is?
4.
4. This is going to be a little less than that, so like 3 point something or other. When we go to the calculator, again, you don't have to write this out, but I'm going to. What division problem should I do?
I guess log base 10.
But the one that goes up top really matters.
Oh, log base 10 of 7.
Log base 10 of 76, log base 10 of the big number inside the log, always divided by the log of the base. Go to the calculator, type it in. And we do need to make sure we're all bringing calculators. Yeah, that's kind of what I assumed.
Okay, got a new calculator. 3.9.
Very nice. About 3.942? No, because if the rule is round to the thousandth, thousands means 3 places. It's not unnecessary.
Wait, what did you say thousands?
Because I said that.
Oh, I wasn't listening.
3.942. Yes. No. If you just give me the number, I'm good. I just want to make sure everyone knows what's getting typed into the calculator. Go do the next 2 quickly on your own. Log base 9 of 4.
So you always do
Log of the number divided by the log of the base. Not minus. The log of the big number. We're not subtracting anything. We are dividing. Log of 4 divided by log 9. Here it would be log of 1 divided by log 5. Try C and D. Something a little weird is going to happen in D. Hold on.
0.
I feel like letter C is going to be like a decimal, because I know if it was log base 9 of 9 is 1, but this is something less than 9, so it has to be something less than 1. Yeah, we'll talk. Yes. Do we have C?
Yes, 0.631.
0.631, I think that sounds good. Log 6 divided by log 9 is how you should be typing it in. Yep, 0.631. What did you get for D?
0.
Huh? Why?
0 divided by anything is 0.
Not at all. Okay. Anything to the power of 0 gives you 1. This is asking 5 to what power gives you 1? 0. Could we have done this without a calculator, letter D? Yeah. I guess what I wanted you to see is it's always kind of nice when this new formula agrees with what we already know about logarithms. If you were to do like log base 2 of 8 on the calculator, you know right away that that's what? Log base 2 of 8. You just had a quiz on this. 3. We could still do that with the change of base formula, though, and say log 8 divided by log 2. Yeah, we're going to get 3. Which means when we get to a test on this, there will be a calculator part and a non-calculator part, because there are some that I need you to make sure that you can do without a calculator. Okay, equations. There are 2 types of equations we need to deal with. Today we're just going to look at these things called exponential equations. We've looked at these before, but now we're going to look at something that we couldn't have solved the way we did before, and then we'll look at logarithmic equations on Monday. 2 raised to the x equals 153. 2 to what power is 153? Does that sound like any other question? 2 to what like what question that starts with an L? A logarithm. Okay. Step number 1. This actually does not matter at all in this problem, will matter in some others. Step number 1, get the exponential piece by itself. If there's things we're adding, subtracting, multiplying, get rid of those things. Step number 1, get the exponential piece
What does that mean now? Just the exponent or just...
No. So like if I had 2 raised to the x plus 5 equals 153, we'd get rid of the plus 5. I'll show you one of those in just a moment. It's not going to matter in this first problem.
Is it... Oh, no. I was going to say square root plus that, but that's not the...
It's not a square. That's the problem. Okay. Your quiz that you just took started with problems where you had to convert. If that's really not giving anything at all away, the converting between one thing and another. And the people who are probably listening at home when they watch this video over the weekend probably haven't taken it either. But they have to convert. This is not. Yes. 2 to the 3rd equals 8. What's that in log form? Log base of 8 equals 3. What we are going to do is we're going to take this problem that is an exponential form, and I'm going to rewrite the whole equation in log form in a very similar way that I dealt with that. Step number 2 is going to be to rewrite this thing in log form, which is going to look like log base 2 of 153 equals x. I think I showed you Mrs. Eburn's little loop trick. That absolutely works here. 2 raised to the log base 2 of 153 equals x. Well, how would you figure out that log, though? How would you do log base 2? I don't know that power. What do we call it? Change of base. That's why we just learned that change of base formula. Step number 3, we're going to evaluate the log using the change of base formula. Very good. Evaluate the log using the change of base formula. This is the step of work that I don't necessarily need to see. If you just go to what the decimal is going to be for log base 2 of 153, I'm okay with that. So, sort of. We're going to write 3 decimal places. I'll explain more about that in just a moment. What is it? 7.257. I do want you not just cutting it off to 3 places, but rounding it. Yeah, we would have rounded, I believe, down in this case, so to a 7. Step number 4, which does not matter in this problem, but will matter in others. We might not get x equals. We might get like 2x equals or something. We'll just solve what's left.
Wait, 2x.
That is not an issue over here. But if when we did it, we got something like 2x, I'll show you that in a moment. We'll just have to solve, exactly, we'll just finish off what's left. There is something we will need to be a little bit careful of in terms of decimals and stuff. And actually, any moment there's going to be an announcement about a couple things, which will hopefully be very short. When you're done, turn to the next page. I want to try to get through 2 of these. On the next page. Ideally 3, but at least 2. Letter A. We want to solve this thing. There's nothing else on that side but the exponential part, so I'm going to start by rewriting it in log form. Log base what? 3. Of what? 19. Equals 5x. Perfect. Go to the calculator, get a decimal. Do not clear it out of the calculator. Just get the decimal, write it down, and then stop. So log 19 divided by log 3. Use that change of base formula. What are you getting for that?
2.680.
Okay. So now, we're going to divide by 5. However, I do not want you to do 2.680 divided by 5. What I want you to do instead is the longer thing that is still on your I'm going to write this, but I'm going to use the entire thing that's still on the calculator and just say divide the answer by 5. I'm not going to type in those 3 places again. So I have log 19 divided by log 3. I've got my change of base. I am then going to take the answer, divide it by 5, about 0.536. Do you see what I mean, though, by not using the 3 decimal place version, but using the whole thing that's still on the calculator?
And then that's the solve what's left part, right?
Yes, that is that step 4, that solve what's left. David?
Isn't that little equal sign means that it's like rounded?
Yes.
It's not rounded.
Sure it is.
But you said it's that, whatever that number is.
Right. So I guess that's what we use anytime that we can't give the actual exact answer. And this isn't even the exact answer. You think it actually stops after 10 places? It actually goes on forever. If you don't use the squiggly equal sign, no, I'm not going to take off points. But it is approximately that. We are doing some rounding. Let's skip B for right now. Maybe we'll come back to that if there's time at the end. But I want to do C. What do we need to do first? This is that step 1 we haven't dealt with yet. Joey. We need the exponential part by itself. So we are going to start this by subtracting 9 from both sides. We're going to get 3 raised to the 2x minus 8 equals 222. So the only step I don't need to see is the change of base formula. Everything else, like every other equation, show every last line of algebra. We'll come back to that if we have time at the end. How are we going to put this in log form? Log base what? Of. Not 2x minus 8. 222 equals 2x minus 8. Let's go to the calculator, get a decimal. I'm going to write 3 places, but I'm actually going to use more when I continue my calculations on the calculator. Oh, no. Hold on, be careful.
It's 4.918.
4.918, I think. Because the 4th place would round up the 7.
Now would you add the 8 first?
What do you... First of all, can we get 4.918?
Yeah.
Okay, let's listen very quickly to this. Please listen.
Excuse the brief interruption. I have a very brief announcement from the PBIS team. I'd ask that students please listen carefully. Students, take a minute and see if you can recall our 5 core values here at Ashland High School. And think about, for a minute, what they mean to you. Recently, students have not been showing respect and responsibility in the cafeteria, hallways, and other common areas such as the library. Please show respect to our school community by cleaning up after yourself. You are responsible for cleaning up your own space. We expect you to throw away your trash and clean up any spills. Leaving behind or throwing food is not acceptable. Unfortunately, reminders and announcements so far have been disregarded. Starting today, we expect everyone to show respect for our ability break starting on Monday until Miss St. Kerr feels the problem has been resolved. Thank you for showing the core values of Ashland High School.
Please clean up after yourselves at lunch.
Isn't the whole thing saying
There's no
not
time to break
using
this
it
class,
unless
the
you
whole
think
school schedule.
No, you just have a little more of third period. A little more math sometimes. Let's finish letter C. We got to finish this one. 4.918, yes? 4.918 equals 2x minus... Okay, we're going to add 8.
and then you do the
I do need to see this. I need to see all the algebra. Please hold on. Let's finish this. Again, I'm going to do plus 8 on the calculator and leave that whole decimal in there. Now what do I need to see?
divided by
This is a step a lot of you don't show, which is why I take off points. You're going to divide by 2. Yeah, I think you might be one. 6.459 is the solution.
oh it's on.
Whoops, you can't actually see that. 6.459. I don't need to see any work in the beginning of the homework where it's just evaluate the log. With the equations, I absolutely need to see work. Basically all the lines that we just shown. Yes, I know. It'll be okay.
I love it.
On Monday, we'll look at what happens if we already have logs in the equation. Basically, we'll convert it to exponential form. We're getting close to the end. 1, 2, 3 more days, then a review day, then a test day. We're looking at a test on Wednesday, April 5th.
Test.
We have a test? Aren't there like always tests?